Hi, almost everyone watches me without a subscription. Please support my channel with a subscription. I try for you, thank you. Story 1. My wife is dead. The best Christmas present I could have gotten. At the beginning of 2022, I caught my wife having an affair with one of her exes. Our marriage wasn't perfect. I was not the perfect husband, I will admit. But I did my best. I put effort into the entire 5 years we were together. I put my all into the relationship. I could not say the same. I was forced to confront the reality of who she truly was shortly after I caught her. She illegally evicted me from our shared home, lied to the police to try and get me arrested, tried to get me fired from my job, and tried to turn all of my friends against me. Some of these succeeded, while others did not. She has made my life a living hell since the day I asked her for the divorce and has planted her heels into the ground over our separation to try and drain all my finances and emotional strength from me. The only upside is we had no kids for her to use as weapons, but I soon found out that her policy of strict birth control with me did not extend to her suitor as he got her pregnant 5 months ago. I thought maybe this would help speed along the divorce, but it only rallied her in her efforts to destroy me. On Christmas Eve, my wife and her suitor went to a party where both of them got drunk. I find this fact terrible as all her friends knew she was pregnant as well. Her suitor drove them home, a mistake that would cost them both their lives. In the state I live in, our divorce is now considered to never have even started. I will be able to claim her life insurance policy for myself and move back into my home. Her parents called me up distraught yesterday, acting as if the last year had never happened, and offered their full support to my funeral preparations for her. My confusion here was beyond belief, but the apple does not fall far from the tree when it comes to my wife. I told them if they want a funeral, it was coming out of their pockets. I will pay for her to be cremated and deliver her ashes to them in the cheapest urn offered if they desire. They called me horribly and tried to guilt me about her life insurance, but after only 4 minutes on the phone with them, I hung up and blocked every one of her family's numbers. I'm going to be taking a few extra days off work to move back into my house over the next week. I've already made arrangements to have her stuff hauled off, so my home will be an empty canvas to start my life anew. I don't know if there is a God, or if this was just karma, but I truly believe now that I have come out on the other side of the storm. OP's comments. Judge me how you will. I will not argue with how my actions influence others' opinions about me. I just know that if the situation was reversed, my wife would be shopping around for a sports car with the life insurance money she collected on me. That you're right. I don't like them, but they do deserve her things if they want them. I'll unblock her mom and offer to make arrangements to deliver her stuff wherever she wants. If she wants it all or only certain things, I'll eat the cost and deliver it to her. I'm already paying to have it hauled and trashed, so no point in caring where it goes. I will be installing cameras at the house tomorrow. The locks have already been repinned. My divorce lawyer has already given me recommendations, and I am meeting with an attorney on Wednesday. Update. I have decided to elaborate on a few common threads I see in this post here, as responding to all the comments would be too much. Firstly, some are judging me for the way I am reacting to the death of 3 people. You're right, it is not normal nor is it healthy. I feel no emotions toward my ex at this moment. All my hatred, resentment, and regret evaporated when I learned of her death. I feel nothing but relief right now. This void has slowly consumed me over the past few days. I feel numb. Like I'm dreaming. Like what happened is not real. This woman made my life a living hell for over a year. She set out to destroy me, and would not stop until she did. I do not like the fact that I feel this way over the death of 3 people, but that is not a box I feel ready to unpack at this moment. Secondly, I have reached out to my ex's mom today, and things are much more civil as of now. I'll pay the hauling company to move her stuff into one of their storage units, and they can figure out the rest. Her mother revealed to me that they cannot afford to host a funeral for my ex. I am 100% the legal beneficiary of her life insurance. Despite my past hatred for her family, I told her mother I will give them a small amount from her life insurance so they can have a service and arrange burial logistics for her. This is contingent on us cutting ties after, and I will not be involved any further in her funeral. I will still be talking to a lawyer. Lastly, I am not going to elaborate any further, except the only lives lost was hers, her suitor, and their unborn child. Some are saying I should sell the house. Right now, I only want to return to my home. The details of where I end up, either there or somewhere over the rainbow, are yet to be determined. I do not know what life holds for me, or for any of us. This event happened, maybe for a reason, or maybe the universe has no logic at all. This gift put an end to a period of my life that sent me to the brink of destruction. It's morbid to think that the death of 3 people was what pulled me to the other side alive. It's interesting how quick it can all change or end. Don't forget to subscribe, rate the video, and click the bell. Story 2. I am thinking about breaking up with my boyfriend because of his changed mindset. I am literally disheartened by it. I, 25F, have been with my boyfriend, 27M, for 3 years. He has been sweet and caring towards me. He would always buy me flowers and cook for me sometimes. I was madly in love with him and I appreciated all his efforts that he put in our relationship. But lately he has been consuming a lot of red pill MGTOW content. He is a fan of someone who I wouldn't say name of, but everyone knows who is that famous red-pilled bald guy is who has Bugatti. At first I didn't mind, because he seems fine. Moreover, he started going to the gym after he started listening to those podcasts. But lately he became this toxic person I don't like. A year ago when we moved in together we split the chores. Now he says he doesn't want to do that because he is a man and it is a woman's job. He constantly says that I should quit my job because women are supposed to be submissive and he is supposed to be the provider. I got angry and told him that he has the nerve to say that when he is living in my apartment that is leased under my name. That's the first time we had a huge fight. He accused me of cheating because I would hang out with my male friends. He would always share posts about how men don't need women and how they are happier without women. Also some derogatory posts about single mothers and girls with a high body count. I was really disgusted by this. The final straw came when I heard him and his friends talking. His friend cheated on his girlfriend, Gigi. Now she wants to break up with him. My BF laughed and said women. They went on and on about how women are dramatic and that she should be lucky to have a rich guy like his friend as her boyfriend. It is a man's right to cheat because every great man walked on this planet had multiple wives. After his friend left, I yelled at him for being a misogynist and a hateful person. How can he say something like that about someone who is hurting? He laughed it off by saying Gigi is now emotional and she will come back to him because women do not care if a man cheats as long as the man provides for her. And his friend is rich, so it wouldn't be a problem. I told him this is really ironic coming from a guy who lives in his girlfriend's apartment and can't even own his place. I know I struck a nerve. He hit the wall beside me and yelled how it is my fault that he has not progressed yet. And again blamed my job because every successful man had a submissive wife and if I was like them he would earn more money. I do not understand what my job has to do with it. It is not making him lose his money or occupying his time. I had enough. I told him to get out or I will call the police. He stomped out and called me B-word. I am still a little shaken from it. What happened to the sweet boy I fell in love with? I wish I could get him back. But I don't think I can live another moment with the monsters he has become. Update: I wasn't going to update, but someone actually wanted to know. Someone also messaged me asking for an update. So here is it if anyone cares. I didn't end up spending my holidays alone. Gigi came with her friend Tina to my house. They both showed me group messages between my boyfriend and his friends. They basically shared nudes of other girls. Even Gigi and Tina's picture were there. Tina's BF was also included in that group. I was shaking as I scrolled through the messages. They were all bragging about the girls they hooked up with and whose GF is the hottest. I was looking for my BF's messages. Even though there was no concrete evidence of him cheating on me, he did make some obscene comments about other girls and even talked about sleeping with them. That was the proof I needed. Though there weren't many responses, I went with what the majority of the people told me. I packed his stuff and called my brother to find a locksmith to change my lock. I was a mess to say the least, but some part of me wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I knew that the man I loved is still there. Maybe he was under a lot of stress that I do not know. Either way, I will have closure. 2 days after the Christmas, I went to his friend's house where he was staying. He looked happy to see me. We sat down and I laid all the things that had been bothering me. I told him that his behavior had been off and he was turning into someone that I resent. I like the man who used to be funny and a little goofy, but whoever he turned into is not the person I fell in love with. I even mentioned that ever since he has started watching those podcasts, he has been like this. He tried to deny it. Although he told me that he misses being with me, he was just trying to justify his actions, even his laziness towards chores. It was just all over the place. I wish I was lying, but he started chanting the same thing, like he is trying to be more masculine, and as a man it is his job to provide and my job to be his partner. He doesn't like the fact that I have to go out to work just to keep us afloat while he has been struggling with his job and career. I understand where he is coming from. Having a low-paying job can be stressful, but it is no excuse to treat me like his slave. I never held it against him or called him less of a man because he earns less. This conversation went nowhere. I brought up the group chat. He obviously got angry and started calling Gigi the B-word. I asked him if he was really cheating on me. He didn't say yes or no. He just told me he hasn't slept with anyone other than me. There was some harmless flirting, but nothing more. I wanted to shout at him, but I was in someone else's house. He had the audacity to justify that it is not his fault if he ever cheats in future, because a man cheating is not the same as a woman cheating. A man cheating is basically biological and he needs it. He even said a man can cheat and still love their partner. And telling a man to be monogamous is cruel. I had enough. This made my decision stronger. I told him if he can't even promise me loyalty, then don't even bother calling me. I went home and packed rest of his stuff. I asked my brother to drop his stuff at his new place. Later that night he came banging on my door. I didn't open it. He accused me of being a bad girlfriend, and that I am making a huge mistake. That he is my last chance to have a family because I am 25 and already past my prime and soon will be 30. And no man wants a 30-year-old hag. He went from screaming to apologizing and promising he will do better. He has nowhere to go. My brother yelled at him to leave us alone or he would call the cops. He kept cursing with every bad word in the dictionary. I snapped and yelled, "Go suck, bald man with Bugatti, SDCK." So I guess that's about it. I do miss him badly. I still kept one of his hoodies with me. I miss that man who made me breakfast and brought flowers. I miss the man who was supportive and was all over a gentleman. Maybe he's right. I will never find someone who made me feel so loved like he did once. I am just looking for a place to vent. My heart is broken into pieces. It's hard to believe we broke up for something so strange. I wish this was all a lie. Edit. I just want to say thank you to all the people who have shown me some sympathy. I was really down and I decided to read few comments. They really melt my heart. I know I can never bring him back. Maybe the old him is still there somewhere. I hope one day he wakes up and realizes how wrong he was. But I won't be there. But I do hope he changes for good. Story 3. To fool by accidentally getting one of my 4-year-old triplets drunk at the movie theater. So, we have triplets, and I've been trying to get them out in the world after dating for 4 years. We went for a bike ride, had a huge lunch after, and then headed straight to the theater to finish the day. I love to get a half bottle of wine when we go to the movies, it's my treat. Well, this time out I was by myself because my spouse wanted some kid-free time. Normally I get a red wine, but this time, it was so hot out and we had just come from the park, I got a white. Yes, they serve alcohol at the movie theaters here. It's perfectly normal, just like a restaurant. The thing is, with the wine they give you the same cup as the water cups. I had 2 kids on my left and 1 on my right. Sure enough, because it was hot, my kids asked for water, so I passed them a cup and poured them some from the big water bottle I had brought with me. Having them carry full cups of water from the concession to the theater is a disaster in motion otherwise. Movie started. I poured my first glass of wine, had a couple generous sips and settled in. Well, very soon the triplets were all real thirsty and bouncing in their seats and drank a half a glass of their water at least. A little time went by and the kid on my right also needed some things, water, popcorn, couldn't figure out how to recline his chair and was playing the floor is lava in the row seating of the theater, so I was distracted for a minute or two. I came back. I hadn't left my chair. I was bribing my son with popcorn and treats to move back over here. That took a minute or two. Definitely less than 3 minutes. Finally, was sitting in my chair ready to enjoy some more wine and saw my daughter's glass was empty. Poured her more water, sighed and took the second moment I had in about 15 minutes to take a sip of my glass. It was water. Not wine. It took me a minute to realize what had happened. My youngest and smallest triplet had clearly drank at least a half a glass of wine and drained what I had left after a first heavy pour and a couple sips. Well, for the rest of the movie she was very huggy, giggly, and I think dizzy. She remained awake the whole time. My other daughter smacked her on the arm and the drunk one threatened to turn the other into a frog. Movie ended. She made it. But soon as we were buckling up in the van she nodded off. Oh, memories. Edit. Very interesting polarization on this one. I wonder what the graph would look like or if someone corroborated age with the spirit of the comment. Anyways, this is a story that's told in good faith. We have 5 kids. The older ones have developed into wonderful and respectful people who enjoy living in a free country. I wish you all the best, and if this story offends you, I apologize. Second edit. At no point did I leave my seat or drink unattended. Both my daughter's water cup and mine were on my chair table. I was looking to the right, but sitting right there. I would have noticed a beer can in her hands, but the white wine was indistinguishable. Update. This post is a couple hours old now, and I'm getting reported to Reddit and threatened to have CPS called on me. Here's what you people need to do. Go to the movie theater and call CPS on every adult that orders a drink with their kids present. Then go to the restaurants and do the same. Any adult that drinks in the presence of their children at a restaurant, immediately call CPS. You'll be a hero, Karen, an absolute hero. Second update. I just got murdered so hard by either an Aussie or an Englishman, and it's made my night. Thank you, sir. You are hilarious. He goes, all these people ripping you for alcohol. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to rip you for being a 215-pound male and your drink of choice happens to be a sweet white wine. Third update. Imagine the horror on these people's faces when parents take their kids out to dinner and order a cocktail or glass of wine and then drive their family home after 1 to 2 drinks in a 2-hour span. Why CPS doesn't just camp outside of establishments and bust all the terribly irresponsible parents is just beyond me. Fourth update. People are so soft. I had no idea. No, I'm not taking this post down, ever. There is nothing wrong here. You people need to seriously reevaluate yourselves and your shaming. Have you never been in a public place where there are children, parents, and some alcohol being served? Restaurants, fairs, movie theaters, entertainment venues, sporting events. Seriously, people, you need a therapist to deal with your issues if you think I've done anything dangerous or illegal or morally wrong here. The real foo here is what I was drinking, not how much. Good grief. Update 5. This sub isn't today. I did a whoopsie. This is a tofu from start to finish. Not one part of this story is not AF up. Enjoy my egregiously irresponsible parenting story and feel free to share yours. Also, people seem to be really concerned about how much I had to eat first. Right before we walked into the theater we had 2 giant slices of pizza, nearly a pound of fruits, edamame, cucumbers, some soda with a lot of water, olives, and other items. We had plenty to eat first. At no point was I intoxicated, even slightly. Can't say the same for the child though.